$10,000. That is a lot of money, Jody.
More than I've ever had in my life. I still can't believe it's real.
Well, you won't know for sure until you try to cash it.
Oh, come on. I'm sure Dwight Endicott's check is good in any bank. Anybody who has several $1 million on their walls is bound to have good credit.
He's obviously got a very well-developed sense of responsibility, too.
That's true, because Grace Endicott, I mean, that's not insurance, and she wasn't even sure that the painting was covered.
Even if it was, I cannot imagine that any insurance company is going to pay that high of a settlement on an unknown portrait.
Well, let's not be so quick to assume that the painting is not valuable, huh? Because after all, the gallery did have a buyer who's willing to pay exactly this amount. Maybe he recognized it as some undiscovered Gainsborough.
Look, I may not be an art expert, but I did study art in college, and believe me, that was no undiscovered old master.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Hey, did Gavin go with you to the gallery?
No, he's meeting Calvin.
Does he know about this check?
Yes, he does. I saw him on the way home, and he said that this is all the more reason for him to do what he's doing.
What's he doing?
He's leaving us. He said now that I'm rich, he has to stop being a sponge.
He's serious. You'll move out and share Calvin's place?
Mm-hmm. He's over there right now looking it over.
Well, don't look at the mess. I'm still not used to being a bachelor.
Oh, boy, you weren't kidding. You really are a lousy housekeeper.
Yeah, well, I am not this lousy,
Oh. Get out of my way.
Hey, look, just drop the knife, okay? Nobody's gonna get hurt.
Drop the gun. Calvin!
Damn it! You okay?
Yeah, I'm just sorry I couldn't hold on to him for you.
Yeah, well, who asked you to play cop? I'm supposed to be the police officer around here, remember?
Aren't you going after him?
I sure am. He was nice enough to leave me his ID, Vincent Green, West 5th Street. And look at this. This burglar left more behind than he got away with.
Okay, send Tyler in.
Tyler, come on in. Sit down over here. I believe you know a few of these gentlemen.
I know Mr. Carr, and I've met Lieutenant Jackson.
All right, well then let me introduce you to Captain George Valducci, head of internal affairs. This is Mr. Ramirez and Mr. Sackheim. They're from the civilian complaint board. Since Captain Valducci will be running this hearing, I'll turn it over to him now.
Okay, Detective. We don't enjoy putting a police officer through the ringer, but sometimes it's necessary. Now, let me tell you about the ground rules for this hearing. This is a preliminary hearing, which means it's informal. You'll have every chance to refute the charges made against you. If you can succeed in convincing us that they're without merit, the whole thing will be dropped. If you fail, we have two choices. One is to extend your suspension until we have more evidence, or to recommend a formal hearing, which may result in your dismissal from the Monticello PD. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The voting will be done by Lieutenant Jackson, Mr. Sackheim, Mr. Ramirez, and myself. In the event of a tie, Chief Mallory will decide. As for Mr. Carr...
My role is mainly as an observer, Damian.
All right, gentlemen, could we proceed with matters?
There'll be no personal testimony taken at this hearing. However, there are depositions from the key witnesses. The first being a Mr. Samuel Wheaton, the individual who filed the charges against you. On the night of April 19th, I was standing outside the Chapeau Rouge restaurant after having a drink at the bar. Detective Damian Tyler, not then known to me, emerged from the restaurant with a young woman. I smiled at the woman who was seductively clad.
Seductively clad? Are you going to tell me Sammy Wheaton used that kind of language?
As you know, Chief, depositions are slightly altered by the recording officer for clarity.
All right,
You're then read by the deposer to make sure that the intent is identical.
Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. Please continue.
Upon perceiving my attention to his escort, Detective Tyler became abusive and violent. Without warning, he struck me with his fist and knocked me down.
You stop right there and you've got the whole story.
Come on, Tyler. Let him finish.
Then he grabbed me by the back of my shirt collar, proceeded to drag me down behind the restaurant. There he began to beat me using his fists, his feet, and the lid of a trash can. I do not know how long he beat me in this manner because I was rendered unconscious within the first few minutes. When I woke up in Monticello General, I was informed that I had sustained a serious concussion. Bone fractures, severe internal injuries, end of statement.
May I make a comment, sir?
Go ahead.
Sammy Wheaton provoked that fight. He didn't just smile at that girl. He made several lewd and suggestive remarks.
Is that your justification for what followed?
No, sir. I agree I should not have struck Sammy Wheaton, but I only hit him once. I did no further damage. End of statement.
I'll read the next statement. Deposition of Poppy Johnson. My name is Poppy Johnson. I am employed as a secretary at the Lucky Salvage Company. On the night of April 19th, I was escorted to dinner by Detective Damian Tyler. When we left the restaurant, a young man made some remark which I did not hear, but which made Mr. Tyler very angry. He knocked him to the ground and then dragged him behind the building. When I went to see what was happening, I saw Mr. Tyler kicking the young man repeatedly in the side and on the head.
Oh, come on, sir. May I ask why these witnesses aren't here to make these accusations to my face?
We can't subpoena witnesses without a court order, Mr. Tyler. And this is not a judicial matter. Not yet.
Relax, Damian. It's going to be all right.
Unable to watch anymore, I left. A few minutes later, Mr. Tyler emerged from the alleyway and said something about having taken care of the problem. I insisted on going straight home. End of statement.
Well, she didn't tell him the best part about what happened when we got to her house.
What did you say?
Nothing, sir.
Then I take it you deny her allegations?
Of course I deny it.
Now, what about this, Detective?
I don't know. What is it?
That's a picture. Do you know the people in it?
Yes, I do. The gentleman is myself, and the lady is Miss Poppy Johnson.
And what are you doing in that picture, Detective?
I'm trying to take the coat off Poppy's back. It's the coat that Eddie Lorimer gave to me.
Now, why would Eddie Lorimer do something like that?
He said he wanted to help me out of a jam. He gave me this coat to try to bribe Miss Johnson in order to make a retractor statement against me.
Is that what you're doing in the picture?
Oh, now, come on. I object to that for crying out loud.
You're not his defense attorney. All right, I'll skip that question. I'll read the next deposition. Second deposition of Poppy Johnson. On May 12th, Detective Damian Tyler showed up at my office and said he had a present for me. He said he knew I always wanted a mink coat. And he bought this one at a bargain price from a furrier named Tonio. He hinted that if I wanted the coat, I should change my story about our date. I'm sorry to say that I agreed because I really wanted that coat.
And by a strange coincidence, Mr. Lorimer just happened to be there with a camera to record the event.
Now, look, this is obviously a frame-up. You know very well he didn't buy that fur coat, not on his salary.
Well, apparently he ordered it just the same. My office checked out this Tonio furs. And here's a bill of sale.
Oh.
As you can see, it was signed by D. Tyler.
Bill of sale.
This is terrific. It's imported all the way from San Jose.
I just don't see why you're celebrating so soon.
Because I finally got that bum exactly where I want him. By the way, you did a terrific job. You and Sammy, I drink to your cheers.
You went to an awful lot of trouble just to get back at one cop.
Hey, you know me. Nobody crosses Eddie Lorimer. You see, people are going to have to learn that. The more people learn that, the less people are going to try. Now, does that make sense?
I guess so.
Nobody crosses Eddie Lorimer.
No, this is just awful, Nancy. 3 patterns, and I can't decide.
Why don't I just move it over on the table and let you have a better look at it?
Oh, that's a very good idea. You know, 2 of them are so similar. All you really have to decide between might be just the color.
Oh, yes. Yes, but I don't know what color to choose. I mean, I don't know what color my linen will be, or which should I do first? Oh, Nancy, I don't know the first thing about housekeeping. I don't know what to do.
Just pick the one that you like most. Don't worry about the linens. As a matter of fact, the linens don't cost nearly as much as the china would, unless you go into something like antique lace or something like that.
Oh, well, no, I'm not going to do anything like that. No, I'd like something very simple. I don't know, Nancy. Really, please, help me decide. I don't know.
Well, if I were to choose, I would choose this one because I like it. It's a neutral tone. It is pretty, and I think anything would look pretty on it.
Yes, you've got a point. I don't know, though. I like this one. I mean, it's so colorful. It's fresh and bright.
Okay. Obviously, you're leaning towards that, and it is pretty. I agree. So why don't you get it?
Yes. Okay, that's settled then. Listen, tell me, do you have this pattern?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, great. Wonderful, then. My decision has been made.
However, it's not in open stock. That means you'll have to wait a while for it.
Oh, well, how long?
Oh, at least 6 weeks, maybe 8.
Oh, no. I can't wait that long. I can't wait that long for anything.
Well, maybe I could get it for you in a little less time.
No, forget it. Look, just forget it. I need something tonight, you know, that I can put on my dining room table tonight.
Let me see what I can do.
Jinx. Jinx, what is it?
Nancy, I saw Miles today.
You did?
Yes, I did. I told Derek I was never, ever going to go into another doctor's office again, but I thought I should. I thought that he should see me and take another blood test.
And?
And I'm worse. I'm much worse, Nancy.
Jinx, you don't even look ill.
Well, I feel awful. As a matter of fact, I feel weak. I don't even know how I'm standing. I think it's out of sheer stubbornness, that's all.
Is there anything I can do?
No, Nancy, you've been wonderful. Look, I'm sorry. I think maybe...
Mrs. Mallory. Huh? I can get the set you want from our downtown store now. Can you wait?
Yes. Good. For a little while.
The check.
There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you should turn it down either, Jody.
I think it'd be a very foolish thing unless you were convinced the police were going to recover the painting.
Well, now there's a thought. What happens if they find the painting and you've turned your check into lots of pretty dresses and jewelry and so forth?
I'll just give it back for the portrait.
Well, I've got a very sensible idea. Why don't you take the check, put it in the bank, let it earn interest, right? And then if they recover the portrait, you have it and the interest.
Well, now that is a very sensible idea. Congratulations, Doctor.
Thank you.
How about I just deposit $9,800? I mean, there's this gorgeous dress in Benny.
Excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello, Nancy.
Nicole, is Miles there?
Yes, he is. Did you want to speak to Miles or Dr. Kavanaugh?
Exactly. It's Jinx. We were shopping and she became ill.
Oh, hold on, Nancy. It's James.
Yes, Nancy, what's happened?
Miles, it's Jinx, and well, she was so tired she almost collapsed. I brought her back to her place, and she's had some of her medicine, and right now she seems to be asleep.
All right, I'll be right over. Can you stay with her till I get there?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm on my way. Goodbye. I've got to leave.
Oh, darling, do you want me to go with you?
No, I think it's better if I go alone. You can do me a favor. Call Derek, tell him to get home at once. Tell him it may not be serious, but why take a chance?
Oh, yes, of course, I'll do that.
Look, Captain, just check it out. Do whatever you think is necessary. I don't care what this piece of paper says. I did not buy a mink coat at Tonio's Furs or anyplace else. I couldn't even afford it. And if I could, I can't think of a woman that I would give a mink coat to.
Listen, gentlemen, this has got to be the damnedest, most complete frame I think I've ever seen. And I can't believe you're going to sit there and tell me that you can't comprehend this.
I'm trying to deal with the facts on hand, Chief.
Oh, the facts.
I have no bias in this case.
Gentlemen, I think we're still short on information.
Well, then you tell me how Eddie Lorimer got a hold of that coat if he bought it.
We only have Mr. Tyler's word that Eddie Lorimer delivered.
Oh, come on. I told you it was Eddie Lorimer. He knocked at the door. I answered the door. He was standing there with a mink coat in a box.
Now, what if that coat was delivered to your address by the furrier and then intercepted by Lorimer?
All right, gentlemen, we've got a stalemate.
I guess so.
I'm going to recommend that we postpone the hearing.
Sir, can I ask what's going to happen to my job in the meantime?
Your suspension will be extended for a 2-week period, or more if it's necessary.
That is not fair.
Keep quiet, Tyler. Gentlemen, let's take a vote.
Good night, boss.
Good night, Poppy. Poppy, do me a favor. Huh? Get that phone for you.
Mr. Lorimer's office. Who? One moment, please.
It's Vince. What's he doing calling at this hour?
I don't know. Give me that phone.
I'll see you later, okay?
Yeah, I'll pick you up. What the hell are you doing?
I'm putting on a pair of pants.
Yeah? Who'd you rob them from, you little thief?
Eddie, I gotta get out of town. The heat's right behind me.
What'd you do now, Vince?
It was just a quick little job, Eddie, but the guy who lived there came home all of a sudden and...
You didn't do anything to him, did you?
He did something to me. He snatched my wallet.
What are you telling me? You lost money on the heist, you banana?
It's worse than that. My wallet had my ID in it. That's why I better get out of town.
You know, you should paint a big sign right across your forehead. I am a thief. Please call the police.
No joke, Eddie. Help me. I need some traveling money.
Hey, what do I look like? The Bank of Switzerland over here? All right. I'll call Lester. I'll arrange a little loan for you. You pick it up at the same joint, all right?
Thanks, Eddie.
Damn amateurs.
Oh, there you are. I was beginning to wonder if you were even coming home.
I still have to pack, don't I?
See, I told you he's leaving us.
I take it you liked Calvin's apartment, Gavin.
Well, it's a little messier than I'm used to. Lamps overturned, drawers emptied onto the floor.
What?
Actually, Calvin made it very exciting for me. He had a burglar waiting for us there when we arrived.
Are you serious?
Yep. Some poor sucker tried to rob a cop.
You weren't hurt, were you?
No, the burglar was the only one that was hurt, and all he had done to him was a ripped pants pocket. He lost his dignity and his wallet.
For heaven's sake.
Gavin, you were hurt.
Oh, no. It's just a little bruise. He slammed me up against the wall and I tried to be heroic.
You will bruise my foot. Let me get something for that.
Well, here, honey, I'll get it. You stay with Gavin.
You know, this wouldn't happen if you lived here with us. Why don't you think about it?
I think I'm beginning to get a little weak. Maybe it's a delayed reaction.
Are you going to be all right?
No, I think I'm going to faint.
Oh, Gavin! So much. I don't want you to leave.
Don't worry. You could never lose me.
Listen, promise me you'll be careful, okay? And, don't try to be a hero anymore.
If I wanted to be a hero, I'd go with Calvin to find the burglar. No, I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna do nothing now either. Put the cuffs on him, Alex. I said, don't move! Cuff him, Alex. You take him down and put him in the car. I want to look around this place, just see if he's got anything of mine.
You're the guy in that apartment.
Yep.
How do you like that for luck?
Right out in front.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake